Hi, Craig here from Your Tech. Today's video is a little bit different. There's not going to be real tech talk in this one. It's going to be much more focused towards the content creation side. I'm going to go through the equipment that I use and the little gadgets and the little bits and bobs that I use to create these videos, and show you guys how a very small channel with a very low budget creates these videos. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully I can inspire someone to start a channel, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are so scared to start, or they think it's going to be too much work or it's going to be too hard, and the hardest step is starting. I'm going to show you a little bit about what I use, what products it is, what equipment and stuff that I use. Hopefully it can help you guys start your channel, or at least get an understanding of what you may need to start your channel. Got some of the bits and pieces here with me, and there's a few other things that I'll show towards the end. Just a little bit of overview of the channel and the way that my schedule works. I ensure that I release a video every single week without fail. I have got the same pattern that I've had for the last few months, which is I release a video every Sunday, and every fourth Sunday I do a live stream instead of releasing a pre-filmed video. This gives me a lot more flexibility and time to actually film the other 3 videos and get everything released whilst juggling repairing PCs for customers and my full-time 40-hour week job that I do as well. So I release 3 videos, do a live stream, release 3 videos, do a live stream. So the first piece of equipment that I use when filming a video is this. Now, I'm not one for writing scripts. You've probably guessed that from watching the videos. I don't really write scripts. I have tried, but without having like an auto cue or something, it's very hard to keep looking back at a script and then trying to remember it and come back to the camera, and it's not my forte. I'm not too bad at just knowing what I want to say and saying it, which is kind of the way that I do it. However, this notepad, I write down my ideas, I write down the key points are and things like that, so during the video I can just look back and be like, oh, I need to remember that, don't forget to talk about that, that's something that's important. And not only that, it gives you that release to write down your ideas, and then you can come back to them a couple of days, look and be like, actually that's a really bad idea, no, don't want to do that, cross it out. Or, oh, that's a good idea, but I could expand on that by doing this. Something that I would recommend to anyone that wants to start a channel or do anything around content creation: get yourself a notepad. Make sure that that notepad is just for content creation, nothing else. Don't write your shopping on it, don't write your Christmas list on it, don't write a letter on it. Only use it for content creation, and make that your almost journal for your content creation journey. So yeah, that is my first bit of equipment that I use. Get your ideas down, make bullet points, get everything down on paper so that you can reread it all the time. The second piece of equipment, which is arguably the most important, is the one that everyone's probably the most scared and confused by, which is the camera. So the camera that I've got, I saved up for a while. I mean, I was using my phone for a long time, and I was saving and saving and saving, and I managed to save up enough to get this camera, which is the Sony E10 Mark II. It's a brilliant camera. There's a couple of issues with it that I've had. It was a very steep learning curve going from a phone. It films up to 4K 60, which is where my first issue with it is, because if you film at 4K 60, after about an hour, it will overheat. No doubt about it, it will overheat. It's the only proper downside of it. So I film at 4K, 30 FPS, and it will just keep going. I get plugged into the mains using a dummy battery, and it will film basically forever. I've never had it overheat when filming at 4K, 30 FPS. The second most important piece of equipment is this. This is my microphone. For the longest time, I used my boom arm that's attached to my PC with a mic that used to be attached to that desk, and it had just come over and be near me with the AKG P120 attached to it. It wasn't a great setup, but it's what I had at the time to be able to make these videos. And then again, I saved up and I got the Rode Wireless ME. These are great little microphones. Now, I know my audio quality isn't the best, and that's mostly down to me. Editing audio is not my forte at all. I don't understand the highs, the lows, the mids, or anything like that. I've managed to find a preset that sounds okay, so I've kind of stuck with it. You get one receiver and two mics. They connect to each other effortlessly. You hold the button at the bottom, 3 seconds, and they just connect to each other. Absolutely flawless. The other thing that I really like about these is they're designed really to be used with their app on your phone, but you don't have to. If you do download the app, you can set them up on the app, save your settings, and then it's saved directly to the device. The bit that I like most about these, and that's how they attach. So you've got a little belt clip thingy, lapel clip, whatever it's called, that goes on. Put it on your collar, you can put it on a hat, whatever. You can put it in a mount on top of the camera. But my favorite thing about these, you get this tiny little magnet and you get a cover for the little clip that's on the back, which is just a piece of metal. It's just a piece of magnetic metal. So all you do is slip your magnet inside your shirt, and there you go. It is attached. It doesn't have to be here. You don't hear me ruffling my neck and my clothes or pinching it in between my shoulder or anything like that, because it's exactly where it needs to be, and I love that. These are rechargeable through USB-C. They've got a decent enough battery life on it. I think the longest I've used one of these uninterrupted is about 2.5 hours. It was fine. I've not had any of them die on me yet, but I am very finicky about making sure as soon as I've done filming, I charge them. I want to make sure they've always got a full battery, because I'll be absolutely wounded if I got halfway through a video, the battery died, I didn't realise, and then I've got to refilm that half the video because the audio sounds pants. So yeah, wireless ME, the second most important part of my equipment, because audio is 50% of the experience or more. The next piece of equipment I'm going to go through is this. Now this is just basically a battery powered light panel, but this thing is awesome. I really do enjoy using this. This is the newer NL116 AI 9-inch LED light panel. It comes with a little tripod, so if you want to use it for like a live stream or something, or you're doing something at a desk that's quite close up, you can use a little tripod that's attached, which is really, really good quality. Comes with a cold shoe mount, you can see is attached at the bottom there, and it's rechargeable. It's got a decent enough battery on it. I think it'll last about 2 hours. I used it on stream last week or the week before, and I think I was about 2.5 hours in, and the full battery died. It went from full to 0. I charged it up before the stream, and about 2.5 hours in, I think it was, it just switched off. It might be 3. 2.5, 3 hours maybe. So I'm gonna turn it on. Ooh, pretty. From cold to warm light, 3200 Kelvin up to 5600 Kelvin. You can see the light changing, and it's dimmable, which is my favorite bit. Very bright. Taking in mind, I use this attached to the camera that's about 6 feet away, and it lights me up fine. And obviously, the closer you get, the more intense the light. Newer kindly sent this out to me to review, and I've used it for the last couple of months. And I'll be honest, I'm really, really impressed with it. I've used it on the live stream, I've used it when recording videos, and the dimmable function and the being able to change the warmth of the color and stuff of the light has been awesome. And it's made me realize something that I'll come on to in a minute about the rest of my lighting setup. But this is awesome. I can highly recommend this, and there'll be an affiliate link down below if you're interested. I think these are $62.99 at the minute, which is expensive, but I really do think it's worth it because you get such a nice consistent light when you use it. I prefer using this to these. The next piece of lighting equipment is this. Now this is essentially a giant bulb. Don't know how well you can see that, but this bulb is gigantic. Look at the size of that bulb. That is insane. So I got this from Amazon, and I got 2. Came in a 2-pack. I think it was $59.99 at the time. There'll be links down below of all this equipment as well. If you're interested in any of it, go ahead. So I bought these from Amazon. I think they were $59.99 for the 2. Which is a pretty good buy for like professional grade lighting. It's not really professional grade though. And you get a giant bulb, you get a tripod, you get this housing, and you get the cover so that you get nice diffused light. I made a mistake, shouldn't have bought this. As good as this has been, there's no dimmable function and you can't change the color of the light. So that it comes at 5600 Kelvin, that is it. That is 5600K is the light color you get with these, and that is it. I wish I'd have spent a little bit more and I got something with a dimmable function like the LED light panel. Hopefully you guys can learn from my mistake. If you're gonna get something like this to film videos on, get something that's dimmable, because it will honestly make all the difference. But yeah, they're good, they're worth the money, but but I wish they had a dimmable function. The only other lighting thing I've got is these, which you have seen on the channel before. These are the RGB lights that I've got under the shelves that attach magnetically. These are battery rechargeable through USB-C, and I love them. They're absolutely brilliant. I also love the way that these affect the lighting and stuff when I'm in here, especially when I'm gaming and I've got the lights down low. I'll put these on, I'll put the RGB strip on behind my desk, so I'm just kind of getting the glow of all the lights that are on. I don't have to have big light on. It feels much more relaxed, and I much prefer it when it's like that and I'm gaming, and it just creates a bit of a mood for me, and I like that a lot. These are a great buy. These are cheap. I got them in a 6-pack. They weren't a lot of money. Like I said before, everything will be linked down below. But if you like these little kind of spotlighty things that are rechargeable and magnetic, these are absolutely fantastic. I can't rave about these enough. I love them. The next piece of equipment I'm going to show you is a bit of a weird one, and it's probably one that most people wouldn't have thought was going to be in here, but it's this. This is my phone. Now, if it wasn't for this device, none of this would be happening. I do so much work on this phone, it's unreal. Writing ideas down, replying to emails. When I first started filming, all the videos was done on this. The poor thing would overheat after an hour, and I'd have to wait for it to cool down so I could continue filming, and yeah. This thing's been an absolute workhorse for me. It connects to my camera so that I can see back what I'm filming as a monitor while I'm filming it, which is great for framing and making sure I've got everything in the scene that I want to have in it. This, if it wasn't for this phone, there is no doubt about it, not a single one of these videos would ever have been made. Almost every collaboration email goes through this. Editing shorts through YouTube app is easier on mobile than it is on desktop, so I use this. It has been absolutely fantastic. This is the Sony Xperia 1 IV. I love this phone, and without this phone, none of this would have ever happened. So yeah, big fan of my phone. It's probably one of my most important bits of equipment that I've got. Lastly, this. This is the streaming PC. Now, what a absolute headache it was trying to set up a 2 PC streaming setup. I've done it because I've had to, purely because of budget constraints. I can't afford at the minute to get a new graphics card to be able to play the games that I want to play on stream and get a good enough quality out of it. So I've built this out of parts that a customer left me very kindly. Awesome guy left me some parts, and then Noctua has sent me the cooler. I bought a second-hand graphics card and a brand new power supply and a second-hand Elgato capture card. And I've managed to basically muddle this streaming PC together. A lot of people who look at this like, you've got a streaming PC, yeah, well done. How's that got anything to do with content creation? If I hadn't, when I did get this, I wouldn't have been able to keep on streaming because my PC just couldn't handle it. The modern games and only having 8 gigs of VRAM in a 3070 was way too much of a load on the PC, and it just wasn't dealing with it very well. Especially not when I really want to be able to consistently stream at least 1080p 60 quality. Purely because I think people get a little bit more invested when it looks nice and crisp. And with me trying to stream to 2 different streaming platforms, YouTube and Twitch, my PC couldn't handle it. So this allows me that time, and like I said before, that one live stream that I do every month gives me the time to properly make videos that I can give with as best quality as I can for you guys to enjoy. So this muddled together second-hand parts streaming PC has been brilliant. Nightmare to set up, don't recommend it. If you can get away with it, don't get a second streaming PC, just get a better graphics card and do it that way. I didn't have the budget to do that, but if you do have the budget to do that, do that. Go and get a more powerful graphics card and just stream that way. It's honestly easier. And that brings me back to the last piece of equipment when it comes to content creation. And I've said this a few times already, but this is another piece of equipment that without it, none of this would have been possible. And that is my setup, my whole setup behind me. The gaming PC, the monitors, keyboard, mouse, all of that is the reason that this all started. It's the reason I started repairing computers on the side to make a little bit of extra money. That gaming PC I bought purely to play games with friends. And I've always been interested in tech, but it very quickly snowballed into, I can help people with this. I can repair PCs with this. And once I'd done that for a couple of years, I was like, you know what, I can make content. My PC's good enough that I can edit on it. Why don't I make videos about it? So if it wasn't for my setup and me wanting to get my setup to a nice place and to make it somewhere that I wanted to sit at and I wanted to work at and I wanted to game at, none of this would have been possible. And I think it's probably one of my favorite things about getting into PC gaming properly, was it's not just a gaming PC. It's the fact that you can do so much on it. You can photo edit, you can edit audio, you can edit music, you can edit video, you can learn coding, you can learn a million different things on a PC. And it opens up so many avenues of learning. I love learning. And I'm so grateful that I got into it and managed to start this, whether it goes anywhere or anything like that. If I've managed to help some people out in repairing their PCs, or I've given someone some enjoyment from me being sat here talking waffle on being a dickhead, I am more than happy to keep doing it, because that's the whole point. I enjoy making these videos and they're fun. And even though it does cause me a lot of stress with time management and stuff like that, it does feel worthwhile. So yeah, that is everything that I use to create videos for this YouTube channel. Hopefully I've given you some kind of insight into the kinds of things you need, but there is one takeaway that I will say. If you are considering it, if you are thinking about starting your channel, you don't need any of this. This is all just to increase the quality as much as I can on the budget that I've got. Don't need an expensive camera. Don't even need an expensive PC. All you need is a phone and at the very least a laptop. You can do, a lot of content you can just film and edit directly on a phone, especially if you're doing like in real life things or cooking things. A lot of the time, if you've got a phone with a decent enough video camera on it, just use your phone. The hardest part of all of this is starting, so start. Get your phone out, film, start talking to yourself. Start talking to your phone. Start talking about whatever it is that you're passionate about. Start showing exactly what it is you're passionate about and just do it. It'll be worth it in the end. That's everything from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'm going to leave the Discord link down in the bottom as well. So if you want to join that and come play some games, talk to like-minded folk, buy some extra view samples off me, feel free. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye!